You made the call, and it was the right call. You knew it when you made it. So why are you still rehearsing it 3 days later? You're running scenarios, rebuilding the argument in your head, or preparing a defense that no one asked for. And you may be telling yourself, I just want to make sure I didn't miss something. At this level, I can't afford blind spots. Or if this backfires, it's on me. You're not panicking. You're not spiraling. You're carrying it. And that's what I call a decision that doesn't hold. And it's one of the clearest signs of decision drag. Hello, welcome to a Leader's Purpose podcast. My name is Tammy, and I'm an executive advisor and leadership strategist. And this podcast is for leaders operating at a level where hesitation has a cost and decisions shape people, culture, and direction. Here we talk about what actually drives clarity, ownership, and leadership that feels intentional and not accidental. So you're in the meeting and you make the call, everyone nods, the meeting ends, and then it begins, the replaying. You're driving home thinking, should I have worded that differently? Did they hesitate, or is that just me? What if finance pushes back? Or maybe you made the decision, but now you keep checking in. You reopen the thread, you ask for updates you don't actually need, and you pressure test it again and again. But you tell yourself, I'm just being responsible. I just want alignment. I just want my people to know that I care about them. I'm just making sure everyone's on the same page and that I have the details. But what's really happening is the decision didn't settle and it's still running in the background like a little browser tab you forgot to close. And it's costing you bandwidth and energy, and not to mention time. The problem isn't how you decide. It's why decisions won't stay decided. And most leadership advice will say, be more decisive, trust yourself, move faster. And that's cute. That advice assumes that the problem is hesitation before the decision. Your issue isn't deciding, it's releasing. Some may say it's perfectionism or control, but you're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to quiet the noise. You're not trying to control things. You just want to make sure that things are moving forward. And some say it might be failure, but you failed before and you've recovered and you know you can handle the fallout. So that's not what's haunting you. Some may say you need a framework. You already have frameworks. You can make the call. They help you decide. They don't help you detach. The problem isn't how you decide. It's why something inside you won't let the decision stay decided. So when a decision doesn't hold, it's because something in your operating system won't let it. Every leader has a leadership operating system running underneath everything. It's internal and it's unconscious. And here's what you may not have admitted yet. It was built in a season where you had something to prove. When you needed to be right, you needed to over-deliver, you needed to say yes, and when authority meant survival. And that operating system was brilliant. It got you promoted, it made you reliable, it made you valuable. But now you might be leading at a level where the stakes are higher, the consequences are broader, and visibility is sharper. And that old operating system is still scanning for threats. So when you make a decision, your internal system flags it. What if I'm wrong? What if this damages my reputation? What if I miss something that's obvious? And what if they think I wasn't thorough enough? It's not insecurity, it's protection. It's outdated protection. And it's an outdated protection that creates drag. And maybe it's protecting you from being wrong, from being blamed, from losing control, from not being seen as thorough enough. Maybe it's protecting you from something that you feared when you were moving up the ranks, when you were new in your role. So let me tell you about a project that almost broke me. So I was a project manager in the military, and in this particular, I was leading a large communications upgrade for a base in the UAE. So here I was in South Carolina, so 2 time zones drastically apart, 2 continents apart, and I had a team that I had never worked with. What was crazy is I couldn't set foot on site until after it was done. So every time new information came in, I let it change the project. The general wants this. Okay, we'll add it. Someone suggests a new feature. Sure, let's make it happen. I remember thinking, if I say no to this general, What does it say about me? If I push back, will they see me as difficult, not flexible, or not a team player? And I told myself I was being flexible, I was being responsible, I was being the kind of leader who delivers more than asked. But here's what was really happening. The decisions weren't holding. Every call I made was up for revision, and the moment someone with stars on their collar had a new idea, I would implement it. I was exhausted, I was second guessing everything, and I hated it because I am not a wishy-washy leader, but I was acting like one. My operating system was running on an old program, saying yes, prove yourself, don't push back on authority. It worked earlier in my career, but it was destroying me at this level. The turning point was the customer asked for a feature that didn't even make sense. And I realized that they don't even know what they were asking for. I've been chasing approval from people who aren't even clear on what they wanted. So I stopped. I looked at the project, I assigned ownership, and I started holding the line. And that's what decision drag looks like in action. I wasn't lacking skill. I wasn't lacking work ethic. I was protecting something. I was protecting being seen as someone who delivers, and it was costing me everything, including sleep. But the decision was sound, but your OS flagged it as unsafe. The decision was sound, but your operating system flagged it as unsafe. So you kept it running, looking for threats, looking for holes, looking for what you might have missed. And that's not overthinking. That's an operating system doing exactly what it was designed to do for a version of your career that no longer existed. You know what happened after I started holding the line? I became known as someone who actually gets project done. Not because I said yes to everything, but because I stopped letting decisions unravel. I became someone who... Before you go, I just want to say thank you for spending this time with me. I know your attention is valuable and I don't take it lightly. If this episode gave you language for something that you've been carrying, I'd love for you to give me a rate and review on the podcast. This helps the conversation reach others and other leaders who need to hear it. It also helps me see what landed and what you want more of. And if leadership starts to feel heavier than it should, you don't have to figure it out alone. You can book a leadership strategy call in the show notes, tammymariecoaching.com/call. And until next time, lead with clarity, stay grounded in who you are, and choose joy until joy chooses you. Bye for now.